There is another topic in China which is very hot. There is constant debate about market and versus the government. What's the advantage of market design or auction design mechanism versus maybe government executive actions?
Yeah, I think a part of the background for this question is that in China, the debate between of the relative role of markets and government has been going on for many years. But one observation I have is that sometimes we're still debating between two extreme views. One is that market is, laissez-faire, it can do everything, which is, as economists, we know that this is basically the first welfare theorem, but the first welfare theorem holds only on the very, strong conditions. And the other extreme view is that, market has a fetish, so let the government to fix everything. But what I think we should learn from the advances of theory and its application here from Paul and Rob and other people, auction design, auction theory and practical market design is that the relative role of market and government it should be more balanced, and then sometimes it's more market specific. So I like the example very much Paul gave, but two examples. One incentive auctions, the other is the COVID vaccine. Objectives are very different. Market structure and design has to be very different, and the technical theoretical issues will probably be different too. And that both needs very careful study, design, research to come up with better option than others. I think that's a healthy view of market versus government instead of either of the two extremes.
So I'm not going to answer your question quite the way you posed it, because part of the point of market design is understanding what the needs are of each market and designing for those needs. Now, in the case of COVID, we're very concerned about social equity, about prioritizing certain groups to have the vaccine. It's not about setting up a market that's based on money, but it's about not wasting the vaccine, for example, by sending something that requires ultra cold storage to an area that doesn't have ultra cold storage, or sending it at a time when they're not prepared to use it. So the design of markets for vaccines is about making sure that we don't waste the capacity we have and use it appropriately. 5G, on the other hand, that's a completely different problem. We're not worried about it getting too hot or whatever. The problems there are to make sure we care about universal coverage across the country. That's one of the policies, to make sure that that modern broadband wireless services are available everywhere, to raise money for the government in the sale, to ensure competition in the market among the companies. We have AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile. We have various companies providing services, and we want them all to have capacity so they'll compete and provide value to customers. And so the design problem is different in the two cases, and it's not the case that I would take a design that was made up for 5G licenses and try to apply it to COVID vaccines. We don't want just the richest people buying COVID vaccines. We want an equitable distribution and an efficient distribution that serves the public needs.